Hey everybody, it's me, Peter. Okay, so we're on to day 3? Yes, day 3 of VEDA. So today I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of something that I really like, and that is poetry. And I don't know why, but I just love it so much. And I think part of it has to do with... So Stephen King, he wrote this book called On Writing, and back when I was a lot younger, I was really into the idea of becoming a writer when I grew up, and it never really happened. I mean, I still do a lot of writing, but it's usually nowadays more essays and stuff. But he made this point that's awesome. Basically, he explained that writing and reading is a form of telepathy. Like, it allows you into the brain of somebody else. And I don't know, I think that's a really great way to try and understand somebody else. Because when you read, it's not like, oh, you can interrupt them and be like, no, that's not how things are. You just have to sit there kind of and absorb what they're saying. And I think poetry is a really good way to sit there and absorb what somebody's saying, but about how they feel. And I'm all about feelings, so I really like poetry. And there's one poem that I would like to share with you guys today, from this awesome book, by the way, called Good Poems by Garrison Keillor. And if you don't know who Garrison Keillor is, you are depriving yourself. He's on NPR, and he has this show. Well, he has a couple shows. One is The Prairie Home Companion. He is the voice for that. But then he also has one called The Writer's Almanac. And on The Writer's Almanac, basically what he does is he goes through and he talks about, like, this day in history, of writing history or whatever, this happened, and this is so-and-so's birthday and stuff like that. But at the end of every Writer's Almanac, he also reads a poem. And I certainly don't have as good of a voice for reading poetry as he does, but I'd like to share with you one of the ones that I was just flipping through and I found, and I was like, this is a fantastic poem. So, here it goes. And this is called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. And meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Man, and I don't know why I like that poem so much, but it's just like, I don't know. So I have this thing for poets who really go for, like, not necessarily super happy or super bubbly. Like, I love Sylvia Plath, and if you don't know who Sylvia Plath is, Google her, read some of her poetry. It's haunting, but it's so pure and it's raw, because, like, she was really disturbed. Like, in her life, she had a lot of really rough things happen to her, to the point where she ended up killing herself. And she is one of the, I don't know, I guess, like, exemplary tragic poets. But when you read her stuff, it's like, this is how this woman felt. And the thing is, like, as sad as she is, who hasn't felt that way before? Like, it's relatable, I guess, is the big thing. And I think that's kind of like how I feel about this poem. Like, this isn't, Wild Geese isn't tragic, but it's acknowledging that sometimes things don't go how we want them to go necessarily. And the message that I get from it is kind of one of hope, because no matter how ridiculous things get, or no matter how hard things are, no matter what people expect of us, the world is just going to keep going. And if we can find a way to get ourselves to anchor to that, it makes life a lot more manageable. And that's kind of how I get by in life, because a lot of really bad things happen. It sucks, but that's what life is. Life is not a series of happy, well, life is a series of happy moments, but it's not just happy moments. It's the really hard times, with the happy moments interspersed. Break up the seriousness. But yeah, I think it's really hopeful and reassuring to understand that no matter what's happening to us, the world goes on. And that's actually a very Buddhist philosophy. Like, nothing lasts forever, and the world is suffering, and eventually you die. But, you know, in Buddhism, kind of the idea is that the ideal is to reach out and help other people. Not because you want to go to heaven or whatever, but because everyone else is suffering just like you. And if you can do something to help reduce that suffering, that is what you should be working for. And so, yes, I guess that's why I like this poem so much. Do you guys have a favorite poem? If you do, let me know. And if you don't, and if you want poet recommendations, let me know. I love poetry so much again. And yeah. Alright, well, we're getting up to like 6:30, so I'm going to stop this video. Thanks for watching, and y'all have an excellent weekend, and bye.